somewhere in the West End. I was in a pub, and some blokes in the corner. Another giant man came over. He said, "Oh, we're down here for the rugby." I said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "I'm having an argument."
Ray Brooks, the warm, witty, and endlessly versatile actor whose career stretched over half a century of British stage and screen history, has died at the age of 86 following a short illness. His passing marks the end of a remarkable career that bridged social realism, beloved family entertainment, and soap opera drama, touching audiences across 3 generations. For some, Brooks will always be the voice that carried them through. Childhood Afternoons, the gentle narrator of Mr. Benn, the cult favorite animated series that aired just 13 episodes between 1971 and 1972, yet somehow lived on in reruns for more than 2 decades. To others, he was Reg and Cathy Come Home, Ken Loach's unflinching 1966 BBC television play that ripped the veil from Britain's housing crisis, sparking outrage, political debate, and many argue real-world change, and to millions of 1980s TV viewers, he was Robbie Box, the lovable rogue gambler of the BBC's primetime hit Big Deal. From London streets to television stardom, born in 1938, Ray Brooks came of age in a Britain still recovering from war. His early career was rooted in the thriving television industry of the 1960s, when drama was live, scripts were daring, and a new generation of working-class actors was transforming the screen. By the mid-1960s, Brooks had built a solid resume, with appearances in some of the era's most iconic programs: Danger Man, Dixon of Dock Green, Z Cars, Emergency Ward 10, The Avengers, and Randall and Hopkirk Deceased. His big screen breakthrough came in 1965 with The Knack and How to Get It, Richard Lester's freewheeling comedy about swinging London, which won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. But it was the following year, in Cathy Come Home, that Brooks delivered the performance that would define the early part of his career, playing Reg, a young husband whose life with Cathy Carol White spirals into homelessness. Brooks brought tenderness, frustration, and quiet desperation to a role that helped galvanize public awareness of social inequality. The program's final scene, Cathy's children being taken away, left viewers in stunned silence, and is still regarded as one of the most powerful moments in British TV history. The voice of magic in 1971, Brooks was offered what seemed like a small job, narrating a quirky children's show about an ordinary man who visits a magical costume shop and embarks on adventures as if by magic. Mr. Benn would become one of the BBC's most enduring cult hits. Brooks' smooth, reassuring voice became inseparable from the program's gentle surrealism. People continually asked him to say the catchphrase, his sons Will and Tom said in a statement. Although only 13 episodes were made, they were repeated twice a year for 21 years. For many fans, Brooks' voice was not just narration, it was the sound of childhood itself. The 1980s, primetime and popular fame, while Brooks continued to take on a wide variety of roles. The 1980s brought him into living rooms as a leading man. In Big Deal 1984-86, he played Robbie Box, a fast-talking, streetwise poker player whose charm and flaws made him one of the most relatable working-class characters of the era. Brooks' chemistry with co-star Sharon Deuce, who played his long-suffering partner Jan, helped make the series a ratings hit. He followed this with Running Wild, a comedy series in which he played Max Wild, cementing his reputation for light-footed humor as well as dramatic weight. Around this time, Brooks also took on guest roles in Casualty, The Bill, and Minder, proving his adaptability across genres. Crossing soap opera lines, few actors can claim to have appeared in both of the UK's long-running soap juggernauts. Brooks joined Coronation Street briefly in the 1960s as Norman Phillips. For decades later, he stepped into EastEnders as Joe Macer, a role that ended with one of the soap's most infamous storylines.